let's look at some more grouping in Pandas, in Python and Pandas. So we're going to read the crime CSV file. We're going to print the head, and then we're going to use the group by function on the district. Then we're going to print that out. Then you can see we can do the count, the mean, and the minimum. And so when we do that, you can see we have, there's the head here, first 5 records. Then we do the group by, and we get the group by values here. You see the group by district, and then we can do the count, and then the mean, and then the minimum values in each one. Not very exciting for this, but we get the minimum values based on the index, which would be, I think, the date. So group by can start grouping the information that we have. If we look at group by 3, we make a data frame not using the crime CSV file, and this one, as you can see here, the same one we're working with, we have an ID, department, and age here. If we group by department, and we can then start doing the mean age here, and so we do the group by, and then we do the mean, so we have the mean age. Now it gives us the mean ID number, which isn't very useful, but we have the mean age here. We make it a little cleaner here. We get rid of the ID number, so we just have department and age, and we do the mean. Now we just get the department and the mean because we do our slice here, and we just use the normal slice functions that we've been working on here. And then we make a new slice here, and you can see that we can then print out for the department. We have the mean value here, we have the count, we have the minimum age, and we have the maximum age. You start seeing how group by becomes a lot more useful to us. And lastly, we do something a bit more complex. I made a function here that will allow us to take send in the NCIC number, and it will return a single digit. So it's breaking from 0 to 999 into 0, 1000 to 1, 999, 999, yeah, to 1, etc. Similar to some homework you might have had. So we read in the crime database, we change the data type of the NCIC code to an integer, because if it's not an integer, it's not going to work with our function. So we change it to an integer. Then we use a lambda function to send each value in that column to the shrink function and apply it to a new column in the data frame. So this is the line that does the brunt of all the work. So we're using the lambda function, which will send each value of the NCIC code, which we've already changed into an integer, to the shrink function and apply that to a new column in our data frame. And we'll print the head to see how the data frame works. So let's go ahead and do that. And if we do that, you can see we have a new crime code column over here. Then we do a group by based on that crime code, and then we can do a count. And so if we then go down here and click the weight, you can see we have the crime code and the count. So the serious crimes, the homicides, the manslaughter charges, there were only 5 of those. And as you can see, they go up and have different numbers for each one. So our group, we're using our group by on this new code, so we can shrink the data down and then do some counts with that. And then we plot it. Now, isn't that cool? Now, the interesting thing to remember is, so these are the crime codes that are shrunk down from the NCIC code, and then this is the count of those occurrences of those. We could do, instead of the NCIC code, we could do counts of the crimes in districts or in beats, and then plot that as well. Now, this is just using the Pandas plot. And notice, if we look at the data here, we have crime code 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. There's no crime code 6, so no one committed any crimes in that 6,000 range. But look, if we look at 6, there's a value in here. So it is clearly interpolated when it went ahead and plotted our data here. So it's important to know what you're doing with the plot. I don't really like to use the Pandas plot that much, just because Matplotlib is so easy to use, and that's the one I end up using most of the time.